That's it. I'm moving southside. This venue's the best.
Parts unknown.
Melbourne!
G'day legends, welcome back to another episode of Parts Unknown Melbourne, or you may also know us as the Tech Twins. We're here on the Mornington Peninsula with Gadget behind the camera. I of course am Moose.
And I, of course, am Gandalf. We're here to show you the best places in Melbourne to eat, sleep, drink, everything in between, as well as show you the best tricks for your iPhone that you may not know about yet. As for now, we're just going to walk around the peninsula and see what tickles our fancy. Let's get into it.
Well, hustlers, grab your guns, your shadow weighs a ton. Driving down the 101, California, here we come. Right back where we started from, California.
Just off the Esplanade Road in Mount Martha, you'll find Mr. Curtis, an amazing cafe serving drinks and food any day of the week. You can have lunch here or dinner or potentially breakfast. What's great about Mr. Curtis is you've got great views of the beach and also of the Esplanade.
The great thing about being on the Mornington Peninsula is there are no Northsiders to be seen. Now, I know what you're thinking. Come Christmas time, January and December, everyone flocks to the peninsula. However, most Northsiders don't actually have a license, meaning they can't even get down here unless Daddy wants to drive down. As it is only 10 a.m, I have chosen the Coca-Cola. Couldn't go for a beer. Interestingly, couldn't go for a coffee either. So found that a little bit strange. However, everything else here has just been superb. Big man just got given a blanket as it is a little bit cold.
Similar to how Melbourne is divided by the north side and the south side, it is no exception for Mr. Curtis. There is the north end and Mr. Curtis upstairs. That is open every day except Tuesday. But there is a downstairs Mr. Curtis that is open every day for some casual dining and casual drinks. Bookings are not essential, but they're recommended.
Now, I've tried to date a lot of girls, and a lot of them on their Instagram always like to have a photogenic spot. This place is no exception. When the plastic's up, you are greeted to a beautiful view of the bay, meaning that if you want to take someone out on a date here, it's a very good spot to get an Instagram photo with a girl.
As we've already said, this is not filled with gin, it's filled with water. But unless they poured a full bottle of gin down the sink, which I don't think people in Mount Martha do, they're very savvy with their assets, that means this whole bottle of gin was once drunk. I cannot imagine the type of night they would have had after having a whole Bombay Sapphire gin. There are certain luxuries you can just not have when you stick to being in the city the whole time. Come down a bit south and you'll be treated as if you're a Roman emperor being fed grapes while you have two people fanning.
I feel that we should have, instead of a knife, it should be paintbrushes. We should be painting the bowl. Bao buns for this big fella today. Came with a whole range of sauces and meats to put in it.
Now, I got the empanadas.
As you guys know, I really like you if you're cute, and this here is no exception. I feel like putting two little eyes on, little goggly eyes, and making him talk to me. Hello.
When you're considering going down south side and into the Mornington Peninsula, you think, when you say the word Mount, you'll think Mount Eliza. If you want to go further, you might think Mornington. Any further, you start thinking of Rye, Sorrento. So you forget about places like Mount Martha.
Because I guess at the end of the day, Mount Martha is that kind of in-between point between Mount Eliza and Rye. In a world where everyone, parents, teachers, Labor MPs, are trying to put you in a box, it's great to see a place like this that doesn't play by the rules. You go to a Northside cafe, everything must be rigid 19th century furniture. Oh, we must have this over here. You come to Mr. Curtis, they got a straw chair, they got a wooden chair, they got cushions, they got pillows. And let me tell you, more of this, please. Don't let it die out. That meal was absolutely superb. I love mine. Well, how was yours, Moose?
It was so good. And we're loving being down here in Mount Martha. Unfortunately, the Tech Twins couldn't come down. They needed to stay up in the city for a LAN party. But now that we're down in Mount Martha, the property apex of the state, we're so excited to be coming to you today as the property owners. Although Mount Martha is geographically small,
The property market is massive. You can get one of these beach boxes for 180,000, or you can get a mansion for 7 million, or even get into the contact agent territory. That gap is huge.
Now, last week alone, we had 2,306 houses sold in Melbourne. However, Australian capital dwelling has dropped 4%. So with interest rates the way they are, now more than ever, now's the time to buy.
Thank you so much for letting the property punks crash, and let us know if you'll let them stay over next week as well. Well, I've had a great time here at Mr. Curtis. Gandalf, what do you think?
I think it's time for Gandalf's final skull. It's not beer, so it's water, so maybe I'll get it down a little bit faster. I've seen the comments, but let's give it a go. I think that will shut up a few people. Thank you so much for watching. Let's give you our thoughts on Mr. Curtis outside.
So much for another episode of Parts Unknown Melbourne, and for letting the property punks crash for the night. Hopefully they didn't cause too much of a mess. I'm Moose, we had Gadget behind the camera.
And I've Clausen Gandalf. Miss Curtis, you were just superb. Great bow buns, great food, great water, great Coca-Cola, and awesome views. As for now, I'm going to go find the bathroom. We'll see you next time.